we've got Annie Lester here, who is coordinator of antenatal education services, and she's going to talk to us a bit today about the sorts of things that are available, and in particular hypnobirthing that you can access if you are in Gloucestershire, and some things that are specifically for Stroud women. So welcome, Annie. Thank you for joining us. Where are you based at the moment? Where are you based these days?
I've got a county-wide role. Where I'm sitting right now is on the delivery suite in Gloucester.
Wow, okay.
I travel the county, and I'm often in Cheltenham and in Stroud, Forest and Cirencester as well.
Brilliant. So we really are talking about the whole county here, which is fantastic. Great. Yeah. So do you want to fire away and tell us a little bit about what you're doing at the moment?
Sure. So since lockdown, the first lockdown, our antenatal education services have gone virtual. So we're running the free antenatal classes, which were kind of face-to-face groups of pregnant women from about 28 weeks. They've all gone online. And I can share a link with you, actually, if you want to put that on, where people can
read it, definitely.
Yeah, they can link and book on. So they book on through the Gloucester Hospital's website, Trust website, and it's a 4-week session, a course of 4 one-hour sessions, and we have currently we have a session on labour and a session on birth, and a session the physiotherapist comes because they're doing face-to-face stuff now, but right at the beginning they weren't doing any face-to-face appointments with women, so they're doing a session on how to cope with the strains, the physical strains of pregnancy, and what exercises can help. And then we have a session which sometimes the health visitors join on, which is around feeding and life with your baby, the emotional impact of it, how you can communicate with your baby about bonding.
So that's often the session that we come along to with our nappies, actually, normally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they've been evaluated really well. We've just done an evaluation, and the women are really enjoying it. There have been technical issues. We're all getting used to doing it, in a different format, and the NHS equipment hasn't been as state of the art as we'd like it to be. But we're getting there, so hopefully that's improving. Today we just put on the sessions for January, so women can come with their partners or on their own.
That's amazing. That's actually a benefit, isn't it? Because if you're able to do these things virtually from home, and you can do them and your partner might be around, it's a lot easier than having to travel to a central point. How many people do you generally get signing up for the sessions?
So we try and keep the sessions geographical. So you'll see when you look on the website, it might say Stroud or Cirencester or Forest or Cheltenham and Gloucester, and we have between 8 and 10 couples at each session. And people do sometimes come from other areas because the timing works better. But we're trying to help create support groups. So as much as possible, people can come from their area, then they'll meet other people from their area, and then they might actually get to meet them in the flesh as time goes on.
Yeah, so important. Fantastic. So that's great to know that the kind of antenatal sessions that people rely on so much are still able to carry on, even though they are virtual. And I know that the other thing that you really wanted to tell us about was hypnobirthing. And I love hypnobirthing, something I didn't use it first time round when you were my midwife, actually. But second time round, it was absolutely brilliant. What kind of things are you doing to facilitate hypnobirthing?
So hypnobirthing's also gone virtual. Great. And I piloted that back in, I think it was in May. I piloted a course for pregnant staff, midwives and obstetricians. And in fact, on the MVP website, it's a website or their Facebook page, there's a live Q&A with a midwife and obstetrician who undertook the course, so people can watch that as well. I don't know, I can try and get that link.
Put a link for that as well, so people can find it.
As well. So we are doing, it's between 8 and 10 hours of teaching. So it's a course of 4 evenings from roughly 6 to 8:30, or 6. Sometimes they finish at 8, depends on how much conversation there is. And I think one of the real benefits of it being virtual, sort of, you've alluded to it already, Kirsty, but people don't have to travel. So they're doing it in the comfort of their own home. And for the relaxation techniques, it's really nice. So people are relaxing in their own home rather than in a hospital room. However nice we make it, it's not as nice as
Absolutely. And particularly, I know hypnobirthing is great for everybody in whatever kind of birth they have. You can use hypnobirthing techniques. But if you're planning to have a home birth, that's even better, because it's really in a relaxed environment that you've already been doing the hypnobirthing, and you've got your techniques down pat, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Absolutely. And because it's midwives running the classes, they're really practical, the classes. So half of the class, I'd say, is information about what happens in labour. And then the other half is techniques to help you cope with the surges, as we say in hypnobirthing. So you get taught relaxation techniques, massage techniques, visualization techniques, breathing. Breathing is one of the key techniques. And there's a big focus on the role of the birth partner. They're really integral to that. So I think often birth partners worry about feeling like spare parts, but they have a really big role to play in hypnobirthing. And we also emphasize that whilst our aim is not that everyone should have a natural birth, because we can't make those claims with hypnobirthing. And our emphasis really is that it can be used for all births and all environments, whether it's an induction, a cesarean, you need to be in hospital because of complications, or you're at home or in a midwife-led unit. It's really suitable for everywhere. But the more, you're more likely to have a more normal birth using the hypnobirthing, because staying relaxed, which is kind of one of the key things, staying calm and confident and positive and relaxed, helps you cope with the surges, with the labour more easily, and then the need for other interventions is reduced.
Brilliant.
So thoroughly recommend it. There is a charge for it. It is what's the word? It's not as expensive as private classes, so it's kind of a reduced charge, but it's an extra role for the midwives. So basically, the charge is paying for the midwives' time. So it's £100 for the course.
And how many sessions did you say it was?
It's 4 sessions.
That's pretty good value.
It's about 2.5 hours. Yeah. It is good value. For women who are on benefits, we have a further concession. Well, we have a concession, so that it's just £15. So we want to make it as accessible as possible, but we also need the service to kind of pay for itself.
Absolutely. And how many in the sessions that you run for the hypnobirthing, how many couples do you have in each session?
We have 8 couples.
8 couples. You probably said that already. And is that done geographically as well, or is it just, it's probably less easy to do?
It's less. We're running less courses than the traditional antenatal courses. So we run 2 courses a month at the moment.
Yep.
And we were, when it was face to face, they were geographical. We were running them in Stroud, Cheltenham, and Gloucester. Now we are not. As demand grows, we can then have a virtual Stroud and a virtual Cheltenham, but it takes a little while for people to I think, feel confident with that format and feel that they are going to get the same out of it. I think in some ways people are getting more out of it.
The kind of, again, support networks, we were just talking about how important the support network is. To have an online support network is equally valuable, especially in these days. It's maybe even easier and more important at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, because, we can't even see the people in our locality very easily at the moment, can we? So. But in the group that I'm just running, I just started a course this week. It's so joyous doing it. I love it. And so there's 8 couples, and I think there's 2 or 3 from Stroud, 2 or 3 from Cheltenham, and a couple from Gloucester. So there's still that, they'll hopefully all form a whole group, but it might be that they'll actually meet up with people from their own areas as well.
And the babies are all due around the same time? Expected to arrive kind of roughly around the same time anyway.
Roughly. So they're sort of within a month of each other, I think they'll all be born.
Nice. I think it's brilliant. So anything else that you'd like to tell us about? I think you mentioned some special things that are going on at Stroud at the moment.
Yeah. So Stroud Maternity is in a very fortunate situation. They've got a very supportive League of Friends, the Stroud League of Friends, who are funding some free classes there, which have all gone virtual. But there's a free singing class, which is a drop-in. So you don't have to commit to an X number of sessions. You can just come when you can. Through Stroud Maternity, people can find out more information as to how to get on it. There's a Facebook page for that. Maybe I'll try and get the link. I'll try and get the links for all of these for you, Kirsty, so you can put on.
Okay, we can share them.
But it's a singing group for pregnant women and for mothers with newborn babies, and it's the only group where you can continue going from pregnancy. You know, most groups are either for pregnant women or for women and babies. But what's so lovely about this is that the baby's already hearing the songs in the womb, and then they hear them when they're born. And not everyone comes from when they're pregnant. Some just start afterwards, and some come all the way through. But it's really lovely. The feedback from that class is outstanding. And whilst singing, you know, online, virtual singing is face-to-face is better, it has been a lifeline for women to come together. And the songs they learn are sort of world songs, and it's not nursery rhymes, it's kind of world lullabies. And I think women really find that their babies respond really well to them. And I know when I've been in the singing groups, when they were face to face and I could attend as well, all the babies were just quiet. And then when the songs came to the end, they would start making a bit of noise, and then the singing would start and they would all quieten, and really lovely.
Really nice connection, because they're used to it and they're used to the sound of mum from when they were inside. It's fantastic.
So there's on Thursday mornings for Stroud mothers. And then we're running pregnancy yoga and postnatal mother and baby yoga, and that's by two different. These aren't run by midwives; these are run by singing and yoga teachers. And again, they've all gone.
All the links are shared so that everyone can find them afterwards. Yeah,
they've all gone online. So the pregnancy yoga is a course of 8 sessions, and we hope that people kind of commit to the whole course. We only have 8 to 10 couples, 8 to 10 pregnant women coming on that course. So we like people to commit so that, you know, the space isn't wasted. And they can book on through Stroud Maternity. They just ring up Stroud Maternity and we book them on. And then the postnatal yoga, again, is a drop-in like the singing. So you can just come the weeks you can make it, and the weeks you can't make it, that's fine. And people have been going for some months, up until their babies are 4, 5, 6 months old. Some come for lots of sessions, you know, so it's really flexible. And yeah, I can send again the email to join that course.
Brilliant, great. So there's still lots going on, which is really nice, and loads of support for parents and new babies. So thanks for sharing all of those things with us. Thanks, Annie.